Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're a Falcons fan, you've been paying close attention to the NFC South lately. And honestly, the landscape is starting to shift in a way that nobody predicted just a couple of years ago. The division has long been considered a two-team race, with the Falcons and the Saints battling to see who would dominate. But other teams like the Panthers and Buccaneers have been lurking, trying to make their moves. But this offseason, things are heating up even more, and some of the latest rumors and strategic moves could be the key to the Falcons finally breaking through and making a real statement this season. And trust me, the NFL landscape is changing fast, especially when it comes to the balance of power in this division. Let's start by talking about the big picture, because it's not just about the Falcons alone. It's about how the division is evolving, how teams are building for the future, and how a couple of strategic moves can completely alter the perception of the NFC South. The Falcons, under head coach Arthur Smith and with their young core of players, are poised for a breakout season. But they've also been looking to add that little extra piece, that star player who can elevate the team from good to elite. And right now, the NFL buzz is all about potential blockbuster trades that could reshape team rosters, and one of the most talked about involves a player who's been a staple in the league for years, Kyle Pitts. Now, for those of you who have been following the Falcons, you know Pitts. He was the 4th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, taken out of Florida, and instantly he drew attention because of his freakish athleticism and potential. At the time, everyone thought Atlanta had found their next tight end superstar, a player who could be a matchup nightmare for defenses. But fast forward a few seasons, and it's safe to say that Pitt's career so far has been a bit of a roller coaster. Sure, he's shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency and utilization have been major issues. The Falcons haven't quite been able to unlock his full potential, and that's not entirely on Pitts. It's more about how the team has used him, or in some cases, not used him enough. Throughout the 2024 season, Pitts finished with around 602 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, on the surface, that might seem okay, but when you think about his talent, his size, and what he's capable of, that's a bit underwhelming. The thing is, Pitts has the skill set that could make him one of the league's top tight ends if used correctly. He's got the speed, the route running ability, and the size to be a nightmare for any defense. But the Falcons have struggled to find consistent ways to incorporate him into their offensive game plan. That's why many fans and analysts have been calling for a change, a fresh start, and perhaps a new team where his talents can truly shine. And here's where the NFL rumors get really interesting. Recently, Bleacher Report put out a video featuring Mitch Maloney, and in that video, he laid out some bold trade proposals that could shake up the league. One of the most eye-catching ideas: the Kansas City Chiefs, reigning AFC champions, making a move for Kyle Pitts. Yes, that's right, imagine Pitts in the offense run by Andy Reid, with Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. It sounds like a perfect storm of talent and scheme fit. Maloney's proposal is that the Chiefs send a few late-round picks in the 2026 draft to the Falcons in exchange for Pitts. And honestly, it's a move that could benefit everyone involved. You see, the Chiefs have one of the best tight ends in NFL history in Travis Kelce. But Kelce is about to turn 36 years old, and while he's still playing at an elite level, everyone knows that the clock is ticking. Kelce himself has hinted that this could be his last season, and that naturally leads to questions about who will be his successor. The Chiefs are always looking for ways to stay ahead of the curve, and drafting or trading for a young, talented tight end makes a lot of sense. Pitts, with his unique skill set, could be that guy, especially under the tutelage of a coach like Reid, who has a proven track record of maximizing tight end talent. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Pitts hasn't exactly lived up to the hype in Atlanta. And that's true, at least so far. But it's also true that the Falcons' offensive scheme hasn't always played to his strengths. They've been more of a run-heavy team at times, relying heavily on their running backs and their quarterback to do most of the work. Pitts has been somewhat underutilized, and that's left many fans frustrated because they see flashes of greatness but can't quite get a full picture of his potential. Moving to a team like the Chiefs, where the offense is dynamic and built around high-powered passing, could unlock a different level of performance in Pitts. Let's take a moment here and think about the implications. If Pitts were to join the Chiefs, it would give Mahomes yet another versatile weapon, a tight end who can stretch the field, make contested catches, and create mismatches all over the field. For the Falcons, trading Pitts might seem risky, but if they could get a couple of draft picks in return, especially late-round picks that could turn into future starters, they might be making a smart move for their rebuild. It's all about strategic planning, and in the NFL, timing is everything. But beyond just Pitts and the Chiefs, this rumor opens up a broader conversation about the Falcons' future. Atlanta has been building a young core of players: quarterback Desmond Ridder, linebacker Arnold Ebukti, receiver Drake London, and others, who could become the foundation of a playoff contender. Adding a seasoned, scheme-fit tight end like Pitts could accelerate their development, especially if they find a way to utilize him more effectively. The Falcons' coaching staff has shown they can develop offensive talent, and with the right system, Pitts could finally live up to his draft hype. Now, as we look at the bigger picture, the NFC South is also in a state of flux. The Saints, with Derek Carr leading their offense, are trying to find their rhythm, while the Carolina Panthers are in a rebuilding phase after selecting Bryce Young as their new quarterback. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, under new management and with a revamped roster, are also trying to re-establish themselves. But the division remains wide open, and a move like acquiring Pitts could give Atlanta a massive boost, both offensively and psychologically. It would send a message to the rest of the division that the Falcons are serious about competing now and in the future. And let's not forget, the NFL offseason is full of surprises. Free agency, draft picks, trades. Every year, there's at least one or two moves that completely change the landscape. The Falcons are in a unique position right now. They have the cap space, the young talent, and the draft capital to make bold moves. Whether or not they pull the trigger on something like trading Pitts remains to be seen, but the fact that the conversation is happening at all is a testament to how much Atlanta is thinking ahead. They know that to contend with the best, they need to be proactive, not reactive. So, as we anticipate the upcoming season, the question on every Falcons fan's mind should be, are the Falcons going to make a splash? Will they try to acquire a proven star like Pitts from another team, or will they focus on developing their existing roster? The NFL is a league where moves happen quickly, and often, those moves define seasons. One thing's for sure, Atlanta is not content with just being a middle-of-the-pack team anymore. They want to compete at the highest level, and they're willing to make bold decisions to get there. The NFC South is about to get even more interesting, and the Atlanta Falcons are right in the middle of that storm. The team's front office has been strategic, patient, but also ready to pounce when the right opportunity comes along. Whether it's through draft day trades, free agent signings, or surprise trades like the one involving Pitts, they're aiming to build a roster that can not only win the division, but also make a deep run in the playoffs. And as fans, we should be excited because these are the kinds of moves that define eras, that create legends, and that bring us closer to our Super Bowl dreams. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Falcons' offseason plans will be crucial. They've been strategic, making smart moves in free agency and the draft, but the real game changer could come in the form of a trade or a signing that nobody saw coming. Keep an eye on Atlanta's front office, because if they decide to make a bold move for a player like Pitts or another star, it could skyrocket their chances of competing at the highest level in the NFC. The NFC South is wide open, and the Falcons are right on the verge of something special. The future is bright, and they're not going to settle for anything less than a division title and a deep playoff run. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Pitts should stay in Atlanta and be given more opportunities? Or do you believe a trade like this to the Chiefs could be the game changer the Falcons need? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. Together, we're building a community of passionate fans ready to support our team through thick and thin. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Falcons.